Hello, welcome again to Leadership Dialogue Podcast. I am Chikodinaka Dili. Well, yesterday we began a conversation on political party politics in Nigeria. And of course, we talked about the ideologies, the dysfunctionality in political parties, lack of unity, and, what you may call drifts from what perhaps would have strengthened democracy in the country. Well, we advance in that conversation today, and this time around we are looking or examining the paucity of political ideology in Nigerian party system. Well, this is vis-a-vis, and of course, as Nigerians also envisage, and the politicking for 2027, of course, has begun. And Nigerians also are envisaging what they would better describe as a better alternative to the current leadership in Nigeria. All over the world over, it is believed that politics become more engaging when there are multiple political parties from oppositions to leadership, all vying and also jostling to get the buy-in of the people. Remember that the biggest office of any country is the office of the citizens. So the role the citizens play vis-a-vis true political parties remains crucial. But how this has dwindled over the years in Nigerian political party system is at the thrust of this conversation. Well, my guest still remains Barrister Samuel Memeh. He is the president of the Leadership, Justice and Economic Development Hub. He is also a legal practitioner and a politician. Good to have you join us.
Thank you very much, Sika. Thank you for having me.
Well, the conversation continues after this break. To stay.
As a people and members of LJE Green community, we share a deeper commitment to protect not only our environment, but also the rights and dignity of all individuals within our reach. Every day, we are faced with responsibility to uphold human dignity. If you see something happening around you, do not turn blind eye. We must act because that's where our role as ambassadors come in. Being an ambassador doesn't require any superpower. It requires awareness, compassion, and the willingness to speak up. If you see something, say something. It's our duty to stand up for justice and amplify the voices of those who can't speak for themselves. One voice can spark a movement, and together we can create a nation that values human life. You can reach us on 070-5236-8821 or visit our website at www.ljenigeria.org to report a violation. Remember, if you see something, say something.
Well, it's still Leadership Dialogue Podcast, and of course, I told you earlier that my guest is right here in the studio, Barrister Samuel Memeh, the president of Leadership, Justice and Economic Development Hub here in Nigeria. And of course, he is a legal practitioner and a politician. The topic still remains the paucity of political ideology in Nigeria political party system. The conversation is right here before you. Remember that you can be part of this conversation. All you need to do is like, follow our page, and subscribe also to our YouTube channel at LJE Nigeria. We are present also on Instagram, TikTok, and as well as Facebook. But before we went on that break, of course, good to have you join us, and we'll continue from our trail of thoughts. World over, economic development thrive, social-political development thrives when good party system is in place, ideological politics. But that seems to be lacking in Nigeria today. What's your take?
Yeah, it is lacking because most time when we talk about PDP Labour Party, APC, people think that these names are, attached to a name or a group of people. But it is expected to operate like an institution, with an ideological institution, aimed at taking a country to a certain direction. Unfortunately, we've had people, interested parties, particularly politicians, who are looking for the platforms to contest or to operate their political aspiration. What we need at the moment is a political party with clear ideological factor, what they intend to do. Interestingly, if you look at the manifesto and the concern of all the political parties, they tend to have some kind of ideology or what they intend to do, their manifesto, what they intend to do for the nation. We've had people, the big politicians, dominate the party, then now inflict their will on the political party. In normal circumstances, you have people just coming together, form a political party or form an alliance, then sell farms, show the party, and direct the path of the party. This is completely different from how a political party ought to function.
Okay, if I could interrupt your trail of thoughts, I'd ask this question. Across the over 15 political parties registered and known by the Independent Electoral Commission, for instance, they all have their manifesto, they all have the rules, their constitution, daily operations of their party. But one thing is crucial and one thing is evident across board, which is how the political party, the system, is run. Yeah. Apart from the administrative staff in this political party, to have elected officials in this party who are all there to run. But how these parties, the party do not run on water. They all need money to function. And then I'll give you an example. I know, for instance, the PDP, there is a part of the constitution that talks about like monthly, more like fines, dues, yes, where you pay your dues, and those dues are meant to augment or perhaps run the affairs of these parties, not just in the PDP. In the All Progressives Congress too, it is also provisional in their constitution. But given the current reality, there has never been a time where political parties, depended solely on the dues they generate. And that perhaps is the reason why for any party that comes as a leading party, or perhaps in every other smaller political party, what you see is the highest donor becoming more like the leader of the party. The PDP is not only an affected party in this conversation. We have the APC as well. We have the SDP. And the list goes on from there. How do we manage political parties with the meager resources coming from dues?
Thank you very much. You see, this still boils down to issues of leadership and ability to navigate through the waters of leadership. For a political party, there are so many ways political party can raise funds. You mentioned dues, payment of dues. If you go to most of these political parties, you will find out that the members, some of the members, aspirants, or those who want to contest, they're only interested in paying their dues because they know that the constitution will prevent them from contesting if they fail to pay their dues. But for other members who are not interested in contesting for any position, they find it reluctant to pay the dues. The other question is, what are the functions of a political party, apart from for those other political parties that are opposing political parties in a system? There are some the opposition political parties, apart from the main opposition political parties. Many other political parties, maybe you can count about 5 major political parties in Nigeria. The rest, we have I think about 18 or 19 registered political parties today. The other political parties may discover that some of them don't even have state chapter secretariats. Some don't even have. Some are using the houses of some of their leaders. But that is because of funding. If you cannot run a system to have equal distribution of wealth, you cannot. But like I mentioned, that one of the ways, among many other ways, is through training programs.
And you believe that is realistic?
Very, very realistic.
Given the current realities in Nigeria, because I asked this question because, for instance, a party like the People's Democratic Party, which was set up prior to after Nigerian came into civil rule in 1999, and of course held sway for 16 years, and still thriving apart from its internal crisis, which is also evident.
People's Democratic Party.
Absolutely, which is also evident in other political parties. I'm driving somewhere. In terms of the People's Democratic Party, for instance, and this is where I am headed to. The PDP, I'm very much aware, has an institute where trainings like ICT trainings are held. Educational trainings go on there. The People's Democratic Institute.
How many do they have?
Situated here in Abuja.
Just one training center?
No, we're headed somewhere. Because when you say these are like driving powers of political parties, not a few will beg to differ. Because given the sum members are made to pay and the costs of renting, for instance, an accommodation that would house this institute, paying its staffs, do you still consider that realistic?
Well, I think this platform may not give me opportunity to give you details by details on how this can work. But one thing you must know is that if you organize this training across the federation for major political parties, there are people who are running, there are organizations and companies that are running trainings and they are sustaining themselves with these trainings. So if you have a political party that has the ability to organize such a training, also you seize the opportunity to instill the political ideology on their members in the course of training.
And the members are expected to pay for it.
Members can, because there are so many trainings you can incorporate into a political system. Trainings that will advance the economic advancements on their members. Trainings that can sustain their membership for a lifetime. So they can partner with training organizations if they don't want to own up the facilities. But the major important thing there is that you should organize a system whereby you can bring in your members together from time to time. That is what I'm trying to put forward. So the ability, some of this training will provide opportunity for you to have your members gathered in so many places across the federation, thereby seizing the opportunity to inculcate the ideological factors of the party to the members. So when you do not have the system to, bring in all of these things, you're relying only on ward meetings to drive the ideology of the party. That time will not be available for you to do so much. So that is why you see that they can move in from one political party to another. I remember the Minister of FCT recently lambasted PDP that he single-handedly funded PDP while he was a governor. The problem now is that where are the other members of the party? If a political party, state chapters of political party cannot organize programs for their members, like I said, there are so many things they can do, trainings that they can organize. There are so many entrepreneurship trainings that they can organize to boost the intellectual capacity of their members. But what they do is that they don't want to organize these programs because they don't want the people to be aware. They don't want the people to be exposed. In the long run, you will be destroying the political party, thinking that the only thing that can drive the political party is the politics aspect of it.
But that you would also agree
aspects of the political.
You would also agree that political associations first come together to form political parties, right? And before a political party is formed, this association is an association of like minds. And that's where common ideology comes to play. When the PDP, for instance, was formed in 1999, the people who formed that, the founding fathers of the PDP, had similar goal, similar ideology to strengthen democracy and advance economic development, socio-political development in Nigeria. Many years old, it appears that the same party which Nigerians looked up to with hope has deviated from the common course. And now what we now see is a party where the bigwigs are seen accumulating wealth through different means for themselves. Then you go down to the APC. The formation of the APC was driven by ideology. And then when you move further to the Labour Party, these are components of people, mainly from the Labour Union, who have sought for justice, who have sought for justice, who has sought for to strengthen system across lines for years, coming together to say, oh, it's time. We push some of our ideologies. We also go into party politics, and we have that. And we saw how they fell out after the 2023 elections. And when you go a little further again, we have the SDP, Social Democratic Party, which came on board, apparently, in the 90s, and held sway so strong in 1993, which historically we can always remember it for the annulment of the 1993 elections. What was the ideology of the SDP? The ideology of the SDP was for change and for stronger democracy, strengthening democracy again, and development in Nigeria. Our forefathers, some of our founding members of Nigeria as a system, and the political party founding members, some of them lost their lives, including the MKO Abiola. Some journalists who also, were part of the struggle in 1999 through the same ideology under the SDP went on exile. Just so the democracy we enjoy today would be. Where is the SDP? So can you not see, given the sequence, it is always a sequence of things fall apart. Center can no longer hold from the PDP to the SDP to the APC, and the list goes on. So what gives you the confidence that apparently a neutral person again can come up within an association or a group to form another political party, believed, so to speak, to be an ideologically driven political party, and yet somewhere along the line we will not be faced again with the same quagmire of leadership struggle, especially when money and donations are involved.
Well, you see, you've taken us around the whole cycle. But one thing you should know, some of the challenges still have to go back to the do. We begin to join politics and begin to get more interested in the political life of our nation. Until we get to that level, you will see these guys continue to ride on Nigerians and get whatever they want without any repercussion.
Well, we'll go on a short break now, and when we return, the program continues.
Nigeria is at a turning point. Young people are rising, demanding change. If you believe in justice, strong leadership, and real reform, then it's time to take a stand.
At LJE Nigeria, we're not just observers, we're builders. We're tackling leadership deficits, advocating for justice reforms, and driving economic advancements for all.
As a volunteer, you won't just watch, you will be a part of it. You will gain access to powerful seminars, conferences, and mentorships from professionals who believe in your potential.
No matter who you are, whether you're a student, an entrepreneur, a professional, or someone who cares, there's a place for you here.
Network with passionate change makers, build skills, and step into leadership.
Join LJE Nigeria today. Let's lead with truth. Let's build with courage. Let's rise for Nigeria. Become an LJE volunteer today and be the change Nigeria needs. Follow all our social media handles for more details.